Hello, and welcome to another episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast powered by No. It's Sarah Benkin-Fishy, your host, and today I'm excited to introduce you to another founder in our CEO Chat series. Today, you're going to meet Julie Stevens, who's the founder and product designer for BeTini Spirits. BeTini Spirits is an award-winning, ready-made, ready-to-drink cocktail line that you are about to fall in love with. Today on our episode, we're talking about how she's penetrating the male-dominated industry, the spirits world, and what she has to say about keeping going and not giving up. The other thing I loved about our conversation was how she designed the branding and packaging with the woman in mind. I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to the High Achieving Female Podcast powered by No, where we believe high achieving female leaders deserve to be known. Here, you're going to get the tips, tools, and inspiration you need to network, grow, scale, and balance your business, career, and life. Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited to have this conversation. My goodness, CEO Chats is what we're here to talk about. So we're going to talk a little bit about your founder story, your backstory, how you got started. You are an amazing founder and of BeTini Spirits, which we had just placed in our focus conference swag bags here in Phoenix. And my goodness, these things are so tasty. So thank you so much for being here. Let's just jump right in. How did BeTini get started? How did you conceptualize this whole brand?
Oh goodness. Well, BeTini kind of came out of a girls' weekend when I was hosting a bunch of my girlfriends. And even though I had like all the food prepared ahead of time, I still ended up in the kitchen doing a lot of prep work, for cocktails or running back and forth. And I was like, why can't we just have proper cocktails ready made? And so we actually tried a couple ready to drink cocktails, and although they're great, they weren't like our favorite cocktails at the bar. So that was kind of the inspiration, was to come up with just some classic cocktails that everybody gravitates to when they go to their favorite pub.
I love that. And you're like, we founded it based off of a need. My favorite businesses, and I think the most successful businesses, are founded off of a need. So it's a solution. I love that you said you were like, we were in the woods. We didn't really have a lot of access. So we did what we could do, and we tried some things. They weren't great. So like you said, your girlfriends were like, hey, you could totally do this. It's almost like a dare, right?
My girlfriends were looking at the packaging. It was kind of a dare. So they were looking at the packaging because I have a design background. I had no experience, like zero experience in the alcohol industry.
Oh, that's what I want to talk about too.
They're like, Julie, you could totally design a cute bottle, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a fun project. So that's kind of how I got started, is just by designing the bottle. And I knew I wanted it to be, low-cal, low-carb, because, we all want to indulge. So if you can shave off a few calories off your cocktail, then maybe you can have a little piece of dessert, So,
yeah.
So that was the concept. And then I'm all about like form and function when I design things. I've designed a lot of different, like everything from interior decorating to furniture to, I even have some utility patents and design patents on products. And so I'm all about, it has to work right as well. So, whenever I'm pouring a bottle, even a wine bottle or especially a champagne bottle, my hands are not that big, and it's kind of hard for me to hold the bottle. So that's one of the reasons why our bottle is shaped hourglass. Two things: it's subliminal, it's low-cal, low-carb, but also it makes it a lot easier for a feminine hand to hold the bottle and pour it without struggling or feeling like you need two hands when the bottle's completely full. So
it's the little things. Wow. Like that we don't think of, but it's so subliminal.
Little details. Yeah. Yep. And it's like, you pick it up off the shelf, it's halfway to your cart. If it feels good in your hand, it's going to make it into your cart. Right. So that was the concept behind that. And then our minis, which is what I think we donated to your event in Arizona. We just launched those a year ago. And my goal for those was, all the other ready to drink cocktails are well, most of them come in a can, right?
Right.
And or a beer bottle type shape bottle. And I really wanted something that, I wanted to still feel like a lady when I'm drinking that's ready to drink. I'm going to feel a little special and fancy. And so the goal for those was to obviously mimics a bigger bottle with the hourglass shape, but have it feel more like you're drinking out of a glass. So when you pop off the top of the mini, it's like holding a stem of champagne flute, and you can still feel, a little special. So like you're treating yourself.
I really like that. I love this is actually very interesting because it's designed by a woman, right? Like it's obviously designed by a woman.
It's designed by a woman for women. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so because like now that we're talking about this, like one of my struggles is I love the idea of like the vodka, like the seltzers, like the hard seltzers of that. But I really do struggle with like the pop the top can. And I get that it's like consumable, easy. It's, whatever. Like I don't understand like the whole process behind it, but I love this. And I love like exactly everything you just said, because you're right. Like there is a different vibe, if you will, when you are consuming from what you feel like a glass. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just like a complete snob. Like I like a specific wine glass. I think the wine glass makes the wine taste better, So I really think that you're totally onto something. And the psychology behind it is incredible. And I also think it's so interesting. You're like, hold on a second. I'm not a spirits guru. I'm actually the designer who created a product based off of package design came first. And then we figured out what we were putting inside of it. So
Pretty much that is how it went. Yeah.
you have that's why I'm like, wow, this is incredible, but it's super tasty. You have a couple of signature flavors. So the appletini, which I love, you have the margarita, and you have the pink cranberry vodka martini, along with the mojito. And like, there's just a couple of different flavors that you've tapped into.
Yeah. And a lemon drop. They're just like all classic cocktails. Yeah.
And you founded this in your kitchen, and you had your own tasting kitchen, and you invited your girlfriends and people to come over, and you were like, okay, let's perfect this craft. What did that look like? Can you just take me back? Cause I'm trying to envision Julie like with an apron on, and she's like mixing different flavors. Like how in the heck did you get this started?
I have to be honest. So I am not a mixologist. I mean, what I did is I created packaging, and then I took it to a flavor house. And I'm like, these are the kinds of cocktails I want to make. Can you make me a bunch of samples? And so I took those samples back to my home and invited all my PTA friends, because my kids were still in like junior high school. I'm totally doing this out of my kitchen. I used to work from home. And we just had like a little tasting party with a million little tiny shots, like, half-ounce shots of different variations on the flavors, and narrowed it down. And then, I worked on them for a long time. We narrowed it down to a couple that we liked, but then a couple of them were really tough. Like our lemon drop is my favorite. It's really good. It actually went viral last year because it tastes just like a lemon drop at the bar. And, but it took me a year of going back and forth with the most patient flavor house on the planet until I was happy with the recipe. So even if you're hiring someone to do it, you've got to really speak your mind and hold out for it to be just right. If you have to love it, because you're the one who has to go sell it.
Well, you're right. And I think that there is an incredible opportunity to miss the mark with this, because some of these cocktails can be too syrupy or too syrupy is what I would say. Right. And so,
too sweet. Right.
It tastes like it was made in a factory. Right. And this is totally different.
Some of them have like a chemical taste. I mean, and it's hard. Like, bless these people who try and do this, because it is, I know what the struggle is. It's not easy. And you have, you have like these perceived deadlines that you put on yourself. Well, I'm not going to make it to, the spring trade show if I don't get this out right now. And so, but it's really worth it to just, anytime you're creating something, to just, not put those kinds of deadlines on yourself, and just wait until it's done right.
I think that's so important. Talk to us about penetrating the spirit world, because this is not your background.
No.
How, like, I want to know this story. Like, okay, so share, you went to the flavor house. Now you're like, okay, we got something. Now it's time. Now
Yeah.
it's time to go.
So
Like,
then, you need a bottling facility because
yeah.
I didn't have a bottling facility in my backyard. So then you got to go talk to co-packers, and these are people who have all the bottling machines, and see if they're willing to work with you, which is far and few between. A lot of them want you to do really high minimum orders, and you're like, well, what? I don't even know if it's going to work, but I'm going to have to spend how much money? It's really scary. And then because I designed, what I call the unicorn bottle, no one had a bottle like this. Nobody had change parts on their bottling machines to take my bottles. And so you have to pay for change parts. And then after that, you're dealing with the spirits world, which is insane. I don't know if any of your listeners have delved into that at all, but it's every single state in America has different
laws,
liquor
right?
laws.
Yep.
Yeah. And because my products are made with premium spirits and not, a seltzer-based or a wine-based alcohol, it's one of the reasons they taste like a proper cocktail, but it also makes it much harder to distribute. I can't ship them through the mail unless I first sell it to a distributor, and the distributor sells it to a retailer, and the retailer partners with my website and they ship it out for me. I'm not personally allowed to ship my product to a consumer by law.
That's way different.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Whereas if you're a winery,
Yep.
you're allowed to have a wine club and ship directly to consumers, and that opens up huge, sales channels for you. But because my products were spirits based, I have to follow the rules on the other side of that, on the spirit side, and it's much more regulated. So you've got to get a distributor, and then you think, oh, great, I've got a distributor. Now I'm going to have sales. But no, the distributor really, unless you're really one of the big companies, distributors are so behemoth and have so many items on their roster that you really have to go out and then sell it into the retailer, and then follow up with the distributor like you're herding a bunch of cats, and I'm not exaggerating.
No, I've heard these stories.
Get them to deliver it and give it to them to deliver it to the retailer. And then you've got to market it to the customers in that area and make sure that they come in and pick it up and, pull it through the system. So it is, I've been told it's one of the hardest industries to get into. Had I known that before I designed the bottle, I would have just said, oh, that's a great idea, but I don't think so. But once I designed the bottle, I had fallen in love with my product, and I'm like, this has to go out in the world. So here we are.
Oh my gosh. You're like, I will not accept the challenge, ladies. No,
exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then when I designed the minis, no one had designed a wide mouth bottle like that. There was no cap for it. We had to have a cap specially made for it. And there were no bottling machines that could handle it. And so I also had some bottling machines actually made just for my product. So it's not been an inexpensive venture.
No, right?
But I've learned so much, and I've met a ton of amazing people. And we just signed with a company that's acting as our national distributor. And so now they're interacting with all the state level distributors, so they get to herd the cats for me.
Amazing.
I highly recommend that. Yes. I'm no longer one of the cat herders.
Exactly. And so but you can't like get the big distributor without like proof of concept and doing the work and like getting to them. Right. So it really is a process no matter how you cut it. And now you're like, whew, we did it. And now we can kind of take a little bit of the pressure off. Thank goodness. But you're right. I mean, I think it's like you're selling, even though you have a distributor, and it seems very backwards and it's very male dominated. Right. So you're like, the lady in the room.
I've gone to distributorship where, we're in, and I'm standing in front of a whole, conference room with maybe 90 to 100 salespeople and pitching my product to them, trying to get them to believe in my product so they'll go out and sell it. And it'll be a sea of men with maybe one or two token female salespeople in the room. It's just insanely male dominated. And so they're looking at this going, well, I mean, this is really feminine and I wouldn't buy this. And I'm just like, okay, guys, 80% of the shopping is done by women. Come on.
Right. And they're like, oh, this is
cute. Store? Are you in the grocery store? Or is it your girlfriend? Be honest, right?
Right. But you're going to drink it because if it's in the fridge, you're going to crack it open. So,
are you kidding? Those guys are sneaking the margarita behind their rice back every day.
Oh my goodness. Can we talk about funding? Are we able to talk about that? Are you willing to open up about did you bootstrap this thing?
I did. I bootstrapped it.
And you're probably not independently wealthy. So my gosh, you've just been reinvesting.
It would be really nice to be independently wealthy. If somebody wants to sign me up for that, I'll have to get in line.
How did you, I'm sure there's been moments of touch and go where you're probably you're a mom, you have a family. So I'm sure there's been moments where you're like, okay, gosh, it's hard.
How much more of my life savings can I put into this? And, do I give up? Is it time to give up yet? And every article, every book you read about successful entrepreneurs, it's always darkest right before you make it.
Yes.
And so every time I get to that place, I'm like, but what if this is that moment? And I just keep pushing forward. I figured out figure out how to side hustle, make some extra money on something else to help pay for this. And you just do what you have to do. So,
wow. I just think it's incredible. I just always am so enamored by female founder stories and the pursuit, because we really are filled with grit, right? Put a strong woman up against the wall and she will survive. And so I think that this is incredible. Let's talk a little bit about, where this is you won gold medals in tasting competitions. Where do we find BeTini right now? How do we access it?
I mean, the best way right now, because we are just now building our national distributorship, we've got a good foothold in about 6 or 7 states, but nationally we just started building it this year. So the best option is just to order it online. Most states you can get it shipped to you online, and you can just go to our website, BeTiniSpirits.com, and it'll funnel it through the retailer that ships it out on our behalf. But we can ship to, I think, 45 out of 50 states legally, and then the other states are just not legal to do so.
And more coming soon, right? You're going to grocery stores and hopefully in all of these places, right?
Yeah. I mean, in the places that we have a good foothold, like Michigan, we're in a lot of grocery stores, Indiana, Connecticut. I'm just trying to think of all the places. And we just got distributors. We just got distributors in Florida, and we got into Total Wine there. So I'm very excited about that. We have tastings there this weekend. And we just got a distributor in Texas, and I believe we have one coming on board in Louisiana. So I'm really excited about all that. But
how much are you involved in the brand now? So are you still the face and forward facing? Are you still attending trade shows? How much are you involved?
Oh yeah.
This is you.
Yeah.
Road
definitely.
shows and all the things.
Yes. All the things. Yeah. I'll still go to a state if we're just opening up in a state and go do work with the salespeople with that new distributor and go and help them sell my product into stores. So I'm on the road probably 3 out of 4 weeks a month. I mean, luckily now my kids are in college, so I can do that. Before I wasn't able to do that as much. And it's probably one of the reasons why we're finally starting to get better traction as well, because now I'm able to spend more time. So.
Amazing. So you were in California, you're now in Colorado. You were telling me this really amazing story about the designer in you is coming back out, right? And also the crazy woman.
Project.
I know, that's why I was like, the crazy woman is coming out, because we're all a little bit crazy. One thing is not enough. Taking over the spirits world is not enough for you. You've now decided to do what? Share what you're doing now.
Oh my gosh. So I left LA after, almost 40 years of living in California. And I bought a historical building in Idaho Springs, Colorado. It's this little tiny town. It's halfway between the Denver airport and all the ski slopes. So it's kind of a pit stop. A lot of people stop there for either breakfast in the morning on the way to the slopes, or, grab a pizza or something on the way back from the slopes. And so I bought this building. It's like 7,000 square foot brick building. And it was originally the opera house in this little town. It had been converted into an accounting office and then retail and all kinds of mishmashy stuff inside this building. And we just gutted it. We started gutting it this week. So I'll be posting about that next week. I'll have photos of that. And I'm really excited. We're going to turn it back into its original purpose. It's going to be a music venue with a little tasting room for BeTini. So you can come in, taste some, take a bottle with you, maybe watch one of the local artists perform in the back room. So I'm very, very excited about it. It's kind of going to be, it's my new home. So
That's incredible. I think that's so fun. It's like, I am super creative too. So I geek out on business and I love the ops and the sales and the structure of business.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I feel like my life is very overwhelming, and maybe you can relate to this, when I just like, there's so much happening, I literally stop everything and I start like a project. I got to paint something. I got to go like upcycle something so I can just
That's how you recharge. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now you have an outlet, and it's going to be a pretty fun one once you get it up and running. And
oh my gosh, I'm so excited. One of the things speaking of upcycling, so we're demoing out, the previous owner had an accounting firm and they had built literally a building inside the building so that they didn't have to get permitting. So they built these like accounting type offices inside the building next to the retailer people. And so we are demoing that out, and we're saving all the lumber from inside of it to create sound diffusers for the recording studio. So we're going to upcycle all the lumber from the demo, and I'm really proud of that. I'm very excited to work on that project.
Cool.
So,
normally I ask people, okay, so this is great. What else are you up to, or what's next for you? And I think you've already found your next. I mean, you'll continue dominating and trying to, take over the spirit world. And then you'll have this really amazing other, full on
a little creative outlet that I really miss, because all the businessy stuff side of the alcohol industry, it's really cutthroat. And so to have that creative outlet is so important. Like you were saying, like when I get really stressed or start feeling yucky, if I can do something creative, it just lifts my spirits. So
100%. What advice would you give to a fellow woman? We're mostly women around here. What advice would you give to a woman who's like thinking about this idea, who's like, oh, I don't know. Should I do it? I feel like I have to do it.
Spirits industry.
Any idea? Like, I feel like, could I, should I, maybe, what do you think? What would you say?
I mean, there's obviously do your homework. But I really do believe that if you really want it and you can visualize yourself in it and, create like an imaginary world of you in it and you being successful, that you can get to that place. That's what I believe. So I know that's a little woo-woo, but
no, I think that's great, because it's true. It's like visualization all the time.
Yeah.
Like, can you see yourself there? And what about when the days get hard? What would you say to someone when the days get hard? How do you know when it's time to give up? Why haven't you given up yet?
I don't know why. I'm not smart enough to give up, I think. I guess it's just, I really believe that I can do this. Why other people do it, why can't I do it? Of course I can.
Yes. And
you have to hold on to that, because there's going to be a lot of people that tell you no. Hundreds of people are going to tell you no over the course of your journey. And it's like, okay, well, it's no for them. It doesn't mean it's no for me.
I love that you just said that. How do you protect yourself against the naysayers? Like, is there something you do?
I wish I knew the magic for that. I have made some bad choices.
We all have.
Along the way. And I don't know, because I'm one of those people, I always see the good in people until they prove me wrong. And I know that in business, I should be doing the opposite. I just don't want to live my life like that. So I continue to see the good in people and hope that I draw more good people to me. And that has been true. Like, I've drawn definitely more good people than bad people to me, but I'm not good at figuring out, who the bad ones are until it hits me in the face. And I wish I was. I wish that was one of my superpowers. It just isn't. So I probably can't give good advice on that. So.
I actually think that that's really, really, really important because I'm very similar. Like I trust and verify later. And that is the worst thing to ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like that's the worst thing. But then it's
exactly the opposite of what we should do. Right.
Right. I mean, it's totally opposite. That's not the way you should live. Right.
Yeah.
But there's beauty in that too, because I think I thank God that I'm this way because I would miss something if I was always if I had my wall up all the time, right? Or I was live this angry, burnt life that it's me against the world.
You miss out on all the magic, right?
Exactly.
So you can protect yourself too much, I think, and then miss out on something that could have been really magical. So
Right. I think for me, one of the things that I like to do is I like to get quiet when I need to, just go into, I have a black room in my house that I love. And I'm just sit in the black room, sip some coffee, process and release and then be the best version of myself. Right. So why again? And I think we get better. As time goes on and we can learn a little quicker, but that's a big part of I would say for you and for people like me, we shouldn't change that. We should still approach life with this zeal and love. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Occasionally, I mean, there's been a couple of times where I've gone over to the dark side and been I don't trust anybody ever again, blah, 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 I don't want to be, and then it's okay, this doesn't feel good. I don't want to be in this space with this version of me. I want out.
Right. Right. I mean, It doesn't feel good to get kicked in the teeth time and time again, but you know what? I also think they're so especially in your industry, right? And this industry that you have chosen in the spirits world. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Preserving your energy and your safe space and just your joy is so incredibly important.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's very cutthroat. It is.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. So remind us how we get in touch. Everybody's going to want to go out and taste. I want to bring you to our summit. We do a summit here in Arizona in the spring. I'm going to follow up with you on this because I think
I would love to come.
Your story is amazing. We have to talk about this. We have to have a full-on tasting station or something. We're going to figure this out. We're
going to do a BeTini buffet, and they can just come on in and grab a little taste. It'll be fun. Yeah.
I'm so dead serious. We're making this thing happen in April. So I'm following up to make sure that we can get this thing done. But outside of that, how do people find you? What if they want to follow you? You're on Instagram, you're on LinkedIn. They want to follow the brand, follow along. Tell us.
The best thing is just to follow the brand. It's BeTiniSpirits.com, and all of our social media is at BeTini Spirits. So that's really easy. And and you can go to our website, you can order online, you can follow what we're up to on the Insta and Facebook page. And very soon I'll be announcing the Idaho Springs Opera House project, and then you can learn more about that project as well. Probably in the next couple of weeks we'll start doing social media on that. I'm very excited about it.
Congratulations on all of your success. I mean, from concept in a girls weekend in the woods or in a desolate place to now 10 years later, right? Amazing. Yep. I love this story and I loved our conversation. So let's make sure that we stay in touch and do it again. And ladies, if you're listening, go get BeTini. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast, powered by No, where we believe it's time for high achieving women like you to be seen, heard, and recognized. Until next time, remember, you deserve to be known.